Welcome back to the Everything's a Project, and today what I'm going to do is increase the relief on this long 6-inch long 3/8 ball end mill. And we'll have to do that in the grinder because it's carbide, and you just need a little more reach. This is for a project outside of this shop, but I'm prepping the tool. Normally this is where the Harig spindexer or whirligig grindall will come in. This is a beautiful tool. Got this one used. It's in pretty good shape. The only downfall of it is you have to center your tool. Every tool has to get recentered. So I'm lazy, and what I did was I went out and bought this nice K.O. Lee accessory that's a 5C, and this is considerably less than a Suburban or a Harig 5C grindall fixture. This was like $400 compared to $1,500 to $2,000. So this is what we're going to do it on. Works very similar. I don't have the indexing set up on this, but you can index stuff. But we don't need to get in that. We're just going to do a simple round diameter on those. So we'll get over to the grinder. You might hear it running in the background. Okay, so the grinder, especially in this shop, I don't use it a lot, so when you first go to use it, you want to start it up and shut it right off. Do that a couple times, just to get oil around all the bearings. These machines only get oil to the works when the spindle is running. So now the spindle has been running for a while, and I've already moved the table around and worked it in. So now we're ready to dress the wheel. The magnet is on. I always wear a dust mask even with ventilation, because your body can't do anything with that grit. So here's that piece of white Teflon I've showed in the past. That'll work good behind the screw. So I don't know if you could hear that, but I got a light touch off. Some people feel for the grit. My ears are still pretty good, I can hear it. Okay, now we'll fire up the ventilation. once you adjust the wheel, you don't want to turn the grinder off, because then its relation with the bearings will change and you won't be screwed up anymore. This is where it can get tricky, putting your workpiece onto the chuck. the workpiece to the left of the wheel, so if it does grab, it'll push it in a direction outboard instead of sucking it under. Then I lock the table so it won't move left and right. Let's see. So I'll leave it at this view. I'll at least touch it off. I think you probably can see most of the work. I'm a little bit out of room again for moving the camera. So I'm going to touch off on the part that's already reduced in size. You always keep the part turning checking heat for heat. Okay. So I assumed that I could do just that little bit with a regular wheel. It does not appear to be the case. Hold on. I think it needs to have the diamond wheel on there, which I do have. So I'll be setting that up. And we'll come back to that. I kind of liked having the music in the background before. I did pick up on the copyright. It was not protected, so YouTube just said there is a copyright, but the author approves of its use. So what you hear in the background is King Diamond's Fatal Portrait album. Merciful Fate is how I actually got into heavy metal music. When I was 14 years old, older kids on the bus were playing it on the bus, and I borrowed the album, and things never were the same after that. So I'm playing this one because there's no direct references to Satanism or stuff like that as there was in the early, the first two Merciful Fate albums, and then King Diamond the singer went on his own and did his own thing. Okay, so we'll see you back in a little while. Okay, so we're back. I switched out to the diamond wheel. Doesn't take much effort, and then the diamond doesn't get dressed, so it's ready to go. I got a quick touch and we'll touch it again. So I touched the part that was already undercut by the factory, and it's at 15 thousandths. So back that off. Now I come into the part that we have to turn down. Turn on the dust collection. No holes in my armpits today, I don't think. It's just going to be a bunch of that back and forth, about 1,000th at a time probably, so it's going to take a little while, so we'll come back. Okay, so we're back again. We're all done grinding the shank of the carbide end mill. Let's see if we can do these without banging them into each other. So that's the original, and this is the one I did. So all we had to do is just give it a little more clearance because we're going about 3.5 inches down inside of a pocket. We're hogging out a big chunk of aluminum. These are 3 flute solid carbide ball nose end mills. They want a radius on all transitions. So one of the things that was concerning with me with the diamond wheel is it didn't seem to be cutting as nice as I thought it should, and it was loaded up a little bit. So diamond trumps everything as far as hardness, but what there is there's these white prep stones, I guess you can call them. I think it's aluminum oxide. What it does is when you run this across the wheel, it breaks down the bond for the diamonds. So it dresses the wheel not by cutting the diamond, but by breaking the bond that holds the diamond, and so the diamonds let loose and chews up the wheel. So once I did that, it was cutting better. My concern was that it wasn't cutting well enough, and as I was lowering the wheel, I was just loading it and loading it and loading it, and something horrible can happen if you do that. The diamond on the carbide did not seem to get hot, so that was good. I didn't have to worry about heat because I didn't want to get into doing any coolant. Normally on that, if I have to do coolant, then I just use it with a brush and use a little bit of straight coolant because I prefer to use the dust collector, and I can't technically use both. The other thing I didn't mention earlier is this is a precision ground stone. Starts off as a regular Norton stone, and then a third-party company grinds them perfectly smooth, so there's no grit that's higher than the other. So they're all uniform. So that way, when you prep, like say the magnet on the grinder, you're not introducing scratches. You're just absolutely knocking any highs off. Regular stones on prep stones. These are okay for like the mill table and stuff, but technically they have some highs and lows, and so it's just more precision. You also use these when you're doing any scraping and stuff like that. So that's going to be it for this episode. It went pretty good. I don't do tons of grinding, so every time I do it, it's a little bit of a slight bit of learning curve. I enjoy it. That's why I bought all the stuff that goes with it, because I'd like to pick up some grinding work. When I worked in the tool and die shop, I enjoyed making ejector pins and stuff like that, and it's comfortable. I got the ventilation, so I don't have to worry about, the dust collection. So I don't have to worry about huffing all that stuff in, and like I said, I use a dust mask anyways because I tend to be sensitive to all that. So that's it. Thank you.